It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Benedictum from their latest release called Obey, and that is Retrograde. Very cool song, right, Chris?
My favorite on the disc.
You like that song the best?
I do.
Well, the reason I played that is because I got several things that are sort of interconnected here.
Okay.
That we'll discuss.
All right.
Well, first of all, our good friend Veronica, or the V as we affectionately know her, she and her cohorts in Benedictum will be playing one show in Ohio in the end of June.
Yes, June 28th.
Yeah, they'll be playing at what are they calling that?
Warriors of Metal.
It's the Warriors of Metal. I went there last year and I called in live from the show. You hosted the Classic Metal Show in Studio B,
right?
And I was able to hang out with Veronica and get a couple of people on the show for you. We had James Rivera, who's going to be making a visit back to the Classic Metal Show here very soon. And well, anyway, the band Benedictum is going to be playing this Warriors of Metal end of June in Columbus, Ohio. And our intention is we're going to be there.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be there too. I mean, I went last year.
Right.
And I ended up kind of getting involved with the process down there. I had no, I was not, officially invited to be a part of the show per se. But just because I was there and the reputation of the Classic Metal Show preceded me,
sure,
I was asked to sort of step up to the plate and do a little emceeing and things like that because I just happened to be there.
Yeah, well, we've already been asked to broadcast and everything else down there.
Sure. Well, I got to be honest with you because I don't know how this all works, but I was there for 3 days.
Okay.
And I saw the attendance of this thing, and this time this show is going to be held closer to the Columbus proper, I guess.
Okay.
Last year it was out in the middle of a park.
Okay.
Way out, kind of away from the city. It was a ways away. It wasn't too far away. I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 miles.
Okay.
But it was out in this secluded park. And and the music was being performed in a pavilion type thing out in the middle of BFE.
Okay.
And I saw the attendance there, and believe me, the attendance was not as good as any kind of rock show. It wasn't no Rock on the Range, I'll just say that.
So there was several dozen people.
Yeah, literally. To be honest with you, I don't know how this promoter brings these bands in and pays for all this shit and has them come in and do their thing, especially when he's bringing bands in from Europe too.
Oh.
Last year there were bands that were coming in, they were flying in from Europe and different places, and I was just like, how do you afford this when I know that the ticket sales did not cover the cost of this?
And what was his answer?
Well, I didn't ask him.
Oh.
This was just something I was, kind of assessing in my own head.
And
it's just like, I can't imagine how this was paid for.
Well, why don't we get him on the show?
Well, maybe we will.
Because, dude, that's an easy one to get.
Oh, I know. I mean, you communicate with him through the Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, when he heard, or Veronica was brought in last year. She was one of the official MCs of the show.
Right.
Along with this gal. I had no idea who she was. I mean, nice enough gal. Her name was something Valkyrie.
Okay.
Mistress Valkyrie or something. And she apparently hosts the internet radio show on Metal Messiah Radio.
Oh, cool. The biggies.
Yeah.
Right.
Wouldn't have any idea.
Right.
But she and Veronica were both asked to be the official MCs of the weekend.
Okay.
Well, then, I was there, and it was just like, oh, hey, Neeley from the Classic Metal Show is here.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Big deal, right? I was just like, okay, yeah, so. well, dude, you need to get up on stage and introduce some bands, and you need to do some of our trivia giveaway and, things like that.
Great.
So I did.
Ugh.
I did. Big deal.
I hate the giveaway stuff.
Yeah, but they did. It's just like, okay. They had these gift baskets that had CDs and shirts and, all this kind of stuff in it.
Did people even come to the stage?
They did.
Or did you have to beg?
No, they did. They people love that free stuff.
I guess.
They do. They're like beggars.
Dude, free water.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it, too. Some getting something for nothing.
I guess.
It's like, cool.
That's so great. I got 10 CDs from bands I've never heard of and never will again.
That's pretty much it, too.
So cool.
I know. I know. Trust me, I know. So, anyway, getting back to this, they're holding this at an indoor venue, I guess.
Okay.
This time around, I did the Google Earth type thing on this.
Sure.
And I guess it's sort of like little bit on the outskirts of downtown Columbus.
Okay.
So it's closer to the city area.
All right.
And it's in an indoor venue. But I guess I don't understand how this gets paid for. I mean, either this guy that's doing the promotion, has a lot of money.
Okay.
And he's just a big rock fan and he doesn't mind spending his money on this.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
Or he's losing his ass.
He could be, but I can't imagine how he funds this thing by getting a venue put together and having the equipment and flying these bands in and paying for their hotels and, all this other stuff.
Well, did you ask Veronica how much she's making?
Well, she did it for free, but her costs were covered.
Okay.
So she didn't get
$1,000.
No, she didn't get paid to do it, but her flight was covered, her hotel was covered, her car was covered.
So I'm saying a couple thousand.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was a couple thousand. It might have been $1,000.
Well, but I'm talking about this year with the whole band and everything.
Oh, I would imagine bringing the whole band in.
Yeah.
Who we got 4 people in the band, right?
And Leather's coming with her.
Okay, so there's 5 people.
Yeah, with hotels and
so you figure at the cheapest of a plane ticket at $350.
Right.
Round trip.
So that's
times 5, that's $1,500 right there.
Yeah.
Then hotel, which when I went down there, the hotel they stayed at was like $65 a night.
Okay.
So times 5.
Yeah. So that's $350.
Okay, so that's another $1,800, and then incidentals, maybe a rental car or something.
Yeah, that's another. You probably need 2 with 5 people.
Well, we're looking at $2,000.
Yeah, easy
$2,000, and that's being conservative.
That's one band.
Yeah, that's one band, $2,000.
Yeah, that's not Hellstar or any of the other bands that are playing.
Right. So last year when I was there, both Veronica and I drove the van and went to the airport and picked bands up and shuttled them to the hotel and to the airport and to the venue and back and forth and stuff.
Did you get any Chevy van action with Veronica?
No.
No?
We did, however, our entertainment was listening, and this is where she found out about it. Our entertainment was listening to the first time that we did Natalie's World.
Oh, nice, on Spreaker.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And that was our entertainment while we were waiting for, the bands to arrive at the airport or, whatever.
Right.
But I did meet the guys last year from like Flotsam and Jetsam, and James Rivera was there. He was performing.
Sure.
And, a couple other bands. But I don't know where the money comes from for these festivals.
Oh, they're all playing it for the love of it.
Well, I know for a fact that their accommodations and everything got covered. I don't know that they went home with any money in pocket. But just bringing a band like Benedictum, including Leather Leone from Chastain, that's going to be a minimum of $2,000 just in expenses alone.
That's a bare minimum.
Yeah, that's a bare minimum. Yeah. So, and I know, and the thing was not well attended. I'm going to tell you that. It was not well attended.
Right.
So I can't imagine how these costs get covered.
Who knows?
But this is the 3rd or 4th year of doing this.
Yeah. So, hey, he's trying to build a festival.
Apparently. But I guess I don't know how this gets funded.
Maybe he's got a PayPal link on his website.
True. True. But that is one question that I would like to know how that happens. I'd like to know where the funding for this kind of stuff comes from.
Well, let's get him on the air.
Well, you got more contact with him than I do.
Look him up right now. I'll look him up and ask him if he wants to be on the show next week.
Sure. But
next week, are we doing it from here next week?
Yeah, I'm going to be in town.
So we could do calls.
Yeah, we could just forward the CMS line to your line.
I was more thinking if we're going to be down in Maryland, then maybe we don't want to.
Well, are we going on Saturday or Sunday?
It's your call, really.
Well, what time's the thing?
Thing is on Sunday.
What time?
Oh, noon, 1 o'clock.
Oh,
2 o'clock,
and that's like a 5-hour ride.
Fuck it, we'll just leave at 9. We'll get there late.
Okay, well, whatever.
We'll make it work.
Sure. All right. Well, anyway, getting back to this.
Yeah.
So the band Benedictum is going to be making their one and only Ohio appearance in June 29th.
Okay.
At why do I want to keep calling it Rock Gone Wild? I know that was years ago. I just keep
mild.
Warriors of Metal.
Remember that Rock Gone Wild?
I know, and that one fell apart.
Yeah. Remember when we were doing that awful commercial?
Oh, that thing fell apart big time.
That was funny.
They didn't get the permits, and the venue fell through, and they had to move it, and the tickets weren't selling, and
right.
Oh my God,
that was a mess. But we were involved.
We were. I mean, I can't tell you how many times over the years that you and I have been asked to be involved with doing some promotion for some festival or something, and it just went to shit.
Well, there was the Voices of Rock.
Well, then there was that one that one guy from St. Louis wanted us involved with that was going to feature Terry Ilowis from XYZ.
Yeah, that was the Voices of Rock.
Was that what it?
Yeah, remember there was like 4 or 5 singers like Ted Poley and Ilowis and whatever as the Voices of Rock or something. And that fell completely apart.
That one took a shit.
Rock Gone Mild fell completely apart.
And I was actually going to go out to that thing. That was out in Iowa.
Yeah, we did Nelson's Ledges, but really we shouldn't have.
No, that was just a cover bands or tribute band show.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. We had fun.
Yeah, but
wasn't worth the 12-hour day.
No, but these festivals.
Yeah,
it's just, man, that is a gamble and a half trying to do a festival.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing it if
no
it was
way.
Me.
There's no money in that.
No way.
Now, knowing what you know, you were there. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it made some money. Do you believe that the Rock on the Range makes money?
Oh, yeah. Big money.
Big money?
Big money. Because everything's fucking $10.
Well, what do you think it costs to have a Guns N' Roses come in?
$125,000.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Just $125,000.
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
Because it's a festival.
Well, I get it, but because
honestly, we did this over the weekend actually, and my best guess is that they pay $500,000 a day for artists.
Okay,
that's the cost. Okay. Is $500,000 a day, and they easily cover that.
So they put out $1.5 million in fees.
Yeah, I would think so.
Well, what about the venue fee?
Well, the venue is part of the production. I mean, they are a part of the promotion itself. It's like a co-promote with a promoter and the venue.
Okay.
But they were making money hand over fist.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I'm just asking the question.
Well, first of all, it was $60 to park. You know,
$60 to park.
Well, for 3 days.
Oh, that was $20 a day.
$20 a day.
Okay.
Everybody's there. So there's 70,000 people. There's 30,000 cars. 30,000 times 60 is what?
Well, 740.
900 grand?
Okay.
So that's 900 grand just in parking.
Okay.
Drink every beer was $8 for $1 beer. You know, so you got to think they sold 100,000 beers, you know, to 200,000 people over the course of 36 hours. Don't you think?
I guess.
You know, and the food was all $8-10 for everything. Shirts, merch, they get a piece of the merch, you know, and they're selling everything. Everything you could possibly think of was for sale. You want to meet the bands? Just buy this, and you can get in line and go meet the bands.
Outside of Guns N' Roses, who would have been the biggest money band there that would cost?
Kid Rock.
Okay.
Kid Rock probably cost $125, $150. Avenged Sevenfold was probably $75-80 grand. You know, I mean, Slayer's not going to be cheap. They're not going to come and do it for nothing. I mean, there weren't a ton of bands that were on that echelon.
Well, that's why I'm asking. How many of those bands were on that upper tier?
Nah, not many. I mean, most of those bands were mid-tier success or new bands.
Okay.
You know, bands like Trivium. You know, Trivium played, and, you know, they're lower tier as far as money. Blackstone Cherry, how much are they really going to get? You know,
$8.
I would think Down probably got paid fairly well. I would think the Black Label got paid pretty well. I would think probably Chevelle got paid pretty well. Slayer probably made some money.
So of all the bands over the 3-day festival, do you think so you're thinking GNR and Kid Rock were the two biggest money bands?
Oh yeah, I would think they're the two of the three headliners.
Who was
three headliners were Avenged Sevenfold, Guns, and Kid Rock. Those were the three headliners.
So what do you think Avenged Sevenfold pulls?
75-80.
Really? Do you think they got that kind of money?
Dude, they're huge.
I don't know.
They are big.
Okay.
I mean, not in my world, but they're definitely a big band. They are right now probably the only arena-sized band out that's that big right now.
Right.
And yeah, I would definitely think that they made that much.
Interesting. Well, you know, the one that I found to be interesting, and this was a few years ago, only because we were involved with them, was Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Oh yeah.
You know what they pull for a show?
Got to be $100K.
More.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's $2.25.
Wow, really?
$2.25. $250,000.
No shit.
$250,000.
God damn. Wouldn't have thought it was that much.
Well, that's what I was told.
Yeah. Well, that's just to fight off the race complaints. Need a little extra.
$250,000.
Yeah, wow.
And there's only one original member.
And you know he's taking the bulk of it.
Sure. Well, you know who actually owns the Lynyrd Skynyrd name?
The brother.
The brothers.
The singer brother?
No. Ronnie Van Zant's wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Look at her making bank.
She licenses that name out to the band.
Look at her making bank every year.
And she's got that Janice. Her name is Janice.
Yeah.
Janice Van Zant.
Okay.
She's got a club down in Jacksonville, Florida called Janice Landing.
You think in some way she's happy that her husband died?
I don't know the answer, but she still controls a big portion of that Skynyrd name.
She probably gets paid more than she ever would have if Ronnie would have lived.
Right.
Wow. Good for her.
Yes.
Those are nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess knowing now that they make $1 million a week, I understand why they're nice people.
Sure.
But they really, of the bands we've met, some of the nicest, like whole crew that we've ever run into.
Right.
Just our friend Ian, who, obviously is not very nice anymore, but, I mean, all those guys were super, super friendly and nice. And
yeah. And they don't like the darkies either.
Jesus, dude. Thought we weren't going to perpetuate
We're not.
this.
We're not doing that. Just had to flick the jab there just a little bit.
My goodness. And now I'll just sit back and watch it come in the chat room. Jesus.
But anyway, you and I have intentions of being part of that whatever happens down there end of June.
We're looking forward to those 24 metalheads that are ready to rock.
Exactly. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but we're going to go down there.
Dude, we're some traveling fucks these next couple of weeks.
I guess.
I am, anyway. I mean, I'm going with you this week to Lima the next week, and then 2 weeks later to Columbus.
Right.
And I went to Columbus last week.
Sure.
God damn. I'm a busy boy.
Look at Mr. Scary, you fucking paint chip eating racist bummer.
Jeez. See, you opened the fucking door.
I didn't do it.
You did do it.
You can thank our good friend Happy Time.
No, you did it. We were going along nicely without any
Well,
racist.
what I find funny is that we did that Happy Time a year ago, and people still talk about it like it's happened yesterday.
Well, that was one of the better
No
ones.
one will ever forget that.
That was one of the better ones.
No one will ever forget it.
Nope, I don't think so.
Well, anyway, so Warriors of Metal, end of June. So
Yep.
Chris and I are gonna go and see what kind of trouble we can get into.
Yep. Maybe broadcast from there, maybe not. Who
Sure,
knows?
might do some Spreaker casts or something.
Yeah, I like doing the Spreaker casts.
They turn out well.
They do turn out well. Last week was a bitch because the internet there was so fucking bad.
Oh yeah, it was just like the internet we had at Oshkosh.
Yeah.
There was like no signal there. It's just weird. Something about those arenas that just blocks out that internet.
Yeah, it was really poor.
Sure.
That's why I didn't do a bunch of them because I couldn't. I could never get them to upload.
And we had that same problem last year at Oshkosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. So anyway, since we're talking about Veronica and Benedictum and metal and festivals, et cetera,
Mm-hmm.
our good friend Veronica, through our associations and connections, she got involved with Eric Braverman of Heavy Metal Television.
Yes.
And periodically she does a little VJ thing for Heavy Metal Television.
And that's vagina jockey, right?
Which Chris has been kind of involved with making a Roku app.
Yes, I'm working on it.
It's a work in progress.
Yep.
But anyway, our good friend Eric Braverman reached out to us a little while ago. I got to sneeze. Hang on a second. Anyway, our good friend Eric Braverman reached out to us, and he has been wanting us since day one to do a show on Heavy Metal Television. He wants us to do a half hour or an hour show of the classic metal show.
Right. Okay.
So anyway, Eric is going to swing through the area this week, and apparently you and I are going to meet Eric face to face for the first time after 7 years.
Yep, that's what we're hearing.
And we're going to kind of discuss a potential opportunity here for the classic metal show to be viewed on Heavy Metal Television.
Yeah. So what do you think it's going to be? Dude, this is going to make you huge.
Well, I don't know if it'll make us huge, but definitely there will be some discussion because I know he wants to make a move to make Heavy Metal Television bigger than it is.
Right.
As far as commercial sponsorship, et cetera, is concerned. And you and I have never gone down the road as to, what does this pay? How much you're going to give us? Nothing like that.
Nope.
But what's kind of funny, we've been in contact with Eric ever since like 2007. I think that was the first time we had him on the show.
Yeah.
Was 2007. We've never met him face to face.
No, never have.
And apparently he's going to come through the area this week and, potentially meet up with you, later this week and then meet up with me the following day.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to find out what and where and how and if we can do something with heavy metal television where the classic metal show is concerned.
Should be interesting. I know his whole message of I'm going to sleep in your driveway. Like, okay.
Well, apparently he's traveling with like a travel trailer van type thing, I guess.
Sure.
And he's going to come right past your place, and he's going to come right past my place. So he's going to make a stop in and break bread with us, I guess, and discuss and find out where and when and how, and if there's any synergy here between the classic metal show and heavy metal television.
Yeah. Well, it should be interesting. I mean, I'm always interested in being doing the TV thing.
So basically what we're looking at is, doing some high def cams and, maybe recording the first part of the show or a part of the show that would be heavy metal television related. I don't know how to work out, if it'll work out at all.
Yeah.
But we're going to discuss it this week.
And if not, me and you could always just do a half hour during the week.
Well, that's my point. I don't know if it'll take place during the show or if it's something we'll do separate or I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to meet with Eric Braverman this week and discuss it and figure out how and when and where and what we're going to do with this thing.
Right.
So that'll be interesting.
Should be.
I'm looking forward to meeting Eric.
Yeah, me too. That's an adventure all by itself.
Well, I had text V earlier this week and I said, hey, Eric's going to swing through and he wants to see the CMS studio and this and that. And all her reply was, be prepared. That's all she said was be prepared.
Nice.
So that should be a trip and a half.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Sure.